Ladies and gentlemen, a bearish cross on the MACD has marked major tops in Bitcoin's price history, including the tops in 2021 on both occasions and the top that occurred in March 2024, leading to 8 months of brutal consolidation and compression even during the Bitcoin bull market. The weekly chart MACD has once again triggered a bearish cross, and the question is that something we should be concerned about? Well, I'm not so convinced just yet, and I'll tell you exactly why in the second half of this video. But in the first half of this video, we need to discuss some updates to the Bitcoin compression. We know for a fact, according to the daily chart Bollinger Bands, that Bitcoin is the most compressed it has been since January 2023. We have not seen the Bollinger Bands this compressed and this tight together since all the way back 730 days ago at the very end of the last bear market in cryptocurrency right here. And look what happened during that compression. We absolutely exploded to the upside. The fact of the matter is, guys, with compression comes tension, and with tension comes a release. That release needs to occur, and it needs to occur very, very shortly on Bitcoin. Now, if we're being very specific, okay, I mentioned yesterday, and I've mentioned in a few videos, that the major resistance Bitcoin is facing right now is stemming from the daily chart Gaussian channel center line or something around it that we're not quite seeing. And the support is stemming from the pi cycle line here in blue. Now, here's the thing. That pi cycle line is actually broken to the downside. However, it's not all bad news, so don't jump the gun. We have not seen a volume surge with that breakdown, which means the sellers are not convinced that that was a valid breakdown, and hence that was not actually the level we're meant to be looking at. It just seemed like it was. There's another level here on Bitcoin. There's another level of major support that people are looking at and waiting for it to break until they actually sell. And so luckily, even though we've broken that pi cycle line, the selling event hasn't actually occurred, and the compression is still very much intact here. I mentioned that directly at the end of yesterday's video as a potent possibility. I mentioned directly that that pi cycle line could very well be a dud, and it's proven to be so. So the question is, what is Bitcoin holding for support right now? What is the lower range of this compression zone? Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it today, check out the Bitcoin exchange. It's global, non-KYC. It's never been hacked before, which is especially relevant given the recent hack of Bybit, one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges. The biggest hack in cryptocurrency history occurred just last week on Bybit. You want to be on a safe exchange. You don't want any of that hassle. This exchange has never been hacked before in 3.5 years of going live. So that's very, very good track record there. It's also got reserves information available, so you can get reimbursed in case it is hacked one day. And with my referral link down below, you can sign up and get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life. Additionally, you can get, look at the screen here, up to $8,000 USDT in rewards by signing up with that referral link. That's insane. So it's global, non-KYC, anywhere in the world you can sign up from. Use that link down below. Help out yourself by getting on a good exchange and help out the channel as well. I appreciate it. So starting out with the compression, I know people are sick of hearing it by now. I'll make it quick. I won't waste your time, okay? We know that Bitcoin is compressing. We know it's the biggest compression we've seen since, 2023 at this point, early 2023. The upper bound of that compression, in my view, is stemming from the Gaussian channel center line, or at least around that region. You can say that the lower bound of this compression, if you want it to be very conservative, is actually the lower bound of the range itself here in yellow, which stems backwards from the 2021 all-time highs. But I'd like to be a bit more specific than that. If we're looking at the Gaussian channel center line, which is the resistance we see right now on Bitcoin, we can see it's sitting at around 98,000 or 99,000. Where could the support possibly be coming from? Where could the support of this compression range possibly be coming from? Well, I would actually propose that it's coming from this line right here, this massive line on Bitcoin, which I've discussed in the channel many, many times now, stemming all the way back from 2011. It's acted as a very important pivot point in cryptocurrency bull markets and bear markets in the past. It's much stronger than just a coincidence. If you doubt that, go ahead and draw it up yourself. Look at this line. Draw it from 2011 and look at the interactions we have had with this line on Bitcoin. Bouncing off the level, rejecting against the level, bouncing off the level. Every single interaction we have with this line, historically speaking, with very, very few exceptions, is major, is influential, and is not really, not really prone to fake outs. These are major bounces here, major rejections, major bounces. This line matters. It's mattered since 2011, since before the very first halving on Bitcoin. It's mattered all the way up until now. And on the last 3 consecutive times Bitcoin has attempted to break downwards, this line has been there to hold it up. This line is currently sitting at around 93.6 thousand. which is a level we actually tested just a few days ago, I believe. And I would propose that the bottom of this compression, right, the top coming from that Gaussian channel, I would propose the bottom of this compression is probably coming from this line here at around the 93,000 region, slightly above where this macro support is. Macro support sitting at 92, the line sitting around 93. So that's where I'd propose the compression is stemming from. It's hard to say for sure. It's hard to be certain about it. The point fundamentally is the compression is extremely tight. It's extremely unsustainable. It's the largest we've seen for a long period of time, and the move will be coming shortly, likely within a matter of days. Now, if we want to forget all about the Gaussian channel, forget all about this big line right here, what we can look at is actually the RSI in the daily chart, and that's probably more reliable. In honesty, it's a momentum indicator. We've got an RSI triangle. If that breaks to the upside, that's a good sign the move has begun. If it breaks to the downside, that's a good sign the move to the downside has begun. I'm praying that this move occurs to the upside, because a breakdown would be a very bad thing. It would structurally be terrible, because that would confirm a double top formation. And I'm not really sure Bitcoin could recover from that too easily, okay? It would be a very major point of damage to the Bitcoin chart, especially to Ethereum, which is already in quite a bad position. So I'm praying it occurs to the upside. I think it will. If the macro cycle has anything to say about it, I think an upside move is likely. Let's just wait. Let's just wait for the confirmation. There's no point speculating too much. I don't even think a decision here, I don't even think buying or selling here is rational. I think this is a waiting region, right? Yes, okay, an upside move is probably more likely here with the cycle being taken into account, but why would you not just wait for a 3% move to the upside to get all of that extra confirmation and certainty? There's no point rushing in right now, in my opinion. But I'm sick of talking about that. I've just talked about the compression so much recently. Frankly, I sound like a broken record. I'm sorry about that. Let's get into something fresh here today. A lot of people are talking about the bearish MACD cross on the weekly chart, which is happening when the blue line on the MACD, on this indicator down the bottom of the screen, crosses underneath the red line. That is a sell signal, historically speaking, and vice versa. So when the red line crosses under the blue line, that is a buy signal. You can see this MACD indicator has been taken very seriously in recent history for a lot of people, because it actually managed to mark the top on both occasions in 2021, and it also managed to trigger the beginning of the 8-month consolidation / downwards move that happened throughout 2024. So it's been relatively accurate in the past, and the fact that it's triggered again here on the weekly chart is a massive cause for concern for a lot of people. But I want to bring something to your attention very clearly here. Momentum indicators do not cause moves. They are representations of shifts in structure, okay? Structure is the underlying basis through which momentum indicators have signals. And this is very clearly outlined back here in 2022 when we had a false flag buy signal on the MACD, right? Look here in 2022, we had the bear market begun, Bitcoin bounced to the upside, it formed an ascending channel formation, which is a bearish structure, okay? And within that ascending channel formation, the momentum indicator, that is the MACD, crossed bullish. That was a buy signal. However, regardless of the bullish cross, we still crashed to the downside, right? Because, as I said before, momentum indicators are reflective of structure breaking and structure holding, okay? They are not the cause of structure breaking and structure holding. Structure will always be more important than momentum indicators. They are merely a piece of evidence. That is why the 2022 buy signal did not play out, because the structure, the ascending channel formation within a macro bear market as triggered by the cycle, was stronger than the bullish signal that was given by the weekly chart MACD. And that 2022 occasion right here, where it was a false flag and the MACD didn't work, is not the only occasion on the screen here. We also saw the same exact thing happen like 2 times here in 2023 during a horizontal sideways consolidation. During the beginning of what would eventually become a macro bull market, we saw a bearish signal, then we saw a bullish signal, then we saw another bearish signal, right? We saw 3 consecutive fake outs within the matter of 1 single year, right, in 2023. So we have 3 fake outs right here. We have a fake out right here. It worked here, it worked here, it worked here, and it worked here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 times it worked, and 3 consecutive fake outs in 1 year over here, and another. So 4 times it worked and 4 times it didn't work, right? And if we're ignoring the fact that this was 3, let's just call it 1. It's 2 times it didn't work and 4 times it worked. That's still not an exceptionally good accuracy ratio. That's still only a 66% accuracy of this indicator actually working, because it's more complicated than just seeing the indicator trigger. It's about structure. And that's what a lot of these so-called analysts on YouTube, these so-called traders on YouTube who never traded a day in their life, don't look at and don't realize. It's not about the indicator triggering itself. The indicator triggering is the first step to the indicator trigger becoming valid. You secondly need to see a structural breakdown and hence a validation of the trigger. That is why I only trade based on structure. Momentum indicators are merely means to validate, structural breakdowns are means to validate what is happening on the momentum indicators. Until a structural breakdown has occurred, the momentum indicator is merely supporting evidence for a potential bear case that has not been validated. So until we see Bitcoin actually break down, this MACD cross literally means close to nothing. It's just something to watch. Now, is it a good sign? Of course it's not a good sign. Of course it's a bad sign. Of course it is. But it's not something to run for the hills for, because the structure is still intact, and as is the cycle at this point in time. So hopefully that clears up the situation for you and also gives you a bit of a deep dive analysis into what these indicators like the MACD, like the RSI, what they actually mean. And another one is the stochastic RSI. People take that very, very seriously when it shouldn't really be taken that seriously. They're literally things, that occur. They're triggers that occur that tell you, hey, look, pay attention. If there is a breakdown to validate this, you should take this seriously. But right now, it's just something to flag and keep an eye on. So guys, keep an eye on the Bitcoin compression. I will certainly keep you updated if anything develops in that regard. And as for the bearish MACD cross, again, it's something to keep an eye on, but is it immediately concerning? Not necessarily. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I implore, very formal word there, you to check out the Bitcoin exchange if you want to, of course. You need a good exchange. You need an exchange you can trust. You need an exchange that's been historically reliable. You're paying the money in trading fees every single time you trade. I mean, if that's not a good enough reason for you to get on a good exchange, I don't know what would be. But this is a good exchange in my opinion. I use it personally. It's my main exchange at this point. And with my referral link down below, you can get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life. They're already very low in trading fees, even without that discount given to you by my referral link. They're global non-KYC. They've never been hacked before. They've got hundreds of trading pairs. Very, very minorly do they ever have liquidity issues, so that's very good as well. Guys, check it out down below. My link is there if you want to sign up. It takes 30 seconds with just an email address and a password. Links are down below. And the last thing I'll mention is my VIP group on Telegram, which is coming to an end in a couple of months here. So now's really your last chance to get access to it on Telegram. It will be moving to YouTube eventually, so keep an eye out for that. But if you want trading plans, trading signals posted 4 times a week, and if you want access to an exclusive community and a group chat, you can get it all on Telegram. The information is all there using the links down below. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.